This audio reading is released for the sake of education and entertainment, an enjoyable treat to people who love to investigate the truth and to find reasons to numerous dueling ideas in our time. My name is Jessica, and week by week, I'll be reading a blog of Mr. Controversy Extraordinary, Brother Eli Soriano. This is a voluntary reading with no intention to monetize. You can visit his website at www.controversyextraordinary.com. Without wasting another second, let's dive into the world of controversies, written by the one and only our dear Brother Eli. The old path is for the wicked? Look who is talking. Published December 18, 2020. Because of people's familiarity with our radio and television program Ang Dating Daan or The Old Path, the broadcast arm of the Members Church of God International or MCGI, in heralding the teachings of God and the Lord Jesus Christ written in the Bible, some people in the Philippines also call our congregation by the title of our program. For them, MCGI is Ang Dating Daan and vice versa. For being in the airwaves for 4 decades now, the program Ang Dating Daan has gained much popularity and distinction that many of our brethren were converted through their patronage of the said program. Those who tune in and listen to my preaching inevitably develop biblical understanding and a desire to be part of our congregation. So, without any hesitation, they leave their respective religions and join the Church of God International. And since other religious organizations consistently experience an exodus of members in favor of our group, their leaders and frontline men have joined efforts in maligning my person and our organization, all in their desire to discourage people from joining MCGI or Ang Dating Daan as they call our group. One of the things that they use against us is the statement of Eliphaz the Temanite in the book of Job. It must be remembered that at the height of Job's sufferings from so much afflictions, Eliphaz came and reproached him instead of giving him some consoling and uplifting words. In Job chapter 22, verse 15, in King James Version, Eliphaz asked Job, "Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden?" Please note that those were the words of Eliphaz and not of God. Eliphaz was asking Job if he would still continue to walk upon the old way, translated in Filipino as Ang Dating Daan, which, according to him, was trodden by wicked men. It can be inferred from Eliphaz's words that Job was treading the old way or Ang Dating Daan. Otherwise, he would not have asked him that question. But bear in mind that Job was not wicked. In fact, God himself described him as perfect, upright, God-fearing, and not an evildoer. In Job chapter 1 verse 8. After a lengthy discussion and exchange of reasoning between Job and Eliphaz, God spoke in anger. Job chapter 42 verse 7 in King James Version says, "And it was so, that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, My wrath is kindled against thee, and against thy 2 friends, for ye have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job hath." God was displeased, and his anger was kindled by the things that Eliphaz and his 2 friends had spoken. Eliphaz, therefore, can be considered as an enemy of God, because he spoke of things which were against the will of God. Actually, Eliphaz's accusation that the old way is trodden by wicked men, which was why he was urging Job to stop walking in it, is against God's own pronouncement written in the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 6 verse 16 in King James Version says, "Thus saith the Lord, stand in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls." Very clearly, for God, treading the old path or ang dating daan is not bad. In fact, He was even instructing His people to walk therein because it is where the good way is, and it's where they shall find respite for their souls. It also follows that those who walk in the old path are not wicked because they are the ones who abide by God's instruction. Unfortunately, our detractors, who hardly understand the context of Job chapter 22 verse 15, use it against us. They capitalize on the words of Eliphaz, an enemy of God, to make it appear that those who are part of ang dating daan, referring to our group, are wicked. That is a big lie. The members of the Church of God International, or ang dating daan, as called by many, are not wicked. In truth, our brethren are known for being meek, compassionate, kind-hearted, and God-fearing, and the people with whom they have dealt can attest to this. Even court records can attest that we do not have any member who is a murderer, unlike in other religions whose members brutally kill even for petty reasons, like an altercation during a basketball game. This was what some members of a church founded in the Philippines did to their opponents in a basketball game. They inflicted them with beastly forms of torture until they were lifeless, and then threw their dead bodies in the Pasig River. Actually, their church leaders utilized their resources and connections in defending them. Nevertheless, the Supreme Court found them guilty beyond reasonable doubt. We do not do such things in the Church of God. Our brethren are well taught of Christian virtues, and they are one with the church administration in promoting faith, hope, and love to all men through the preaching of the gospel and through the public services and charity works that we do. Admittedly, we have a lot of detractors, I most especially. All of them want to put me down. They all want to silence me because my preaching of the undefiled gospel wreaks havoc to their respective organizations. The moment that their members begin to listen to my broadcasts, they are unstoppable in finding their way out of their religion. Presently, their crusade is to discredit me and our group, using different social media platforms. One of them even accused me of simply making up stories in my preaching. That is a blatant lie. To preach a falsehood is one thing that I never have done and will never do. But instead of defending myself, I would rather let other people, whom I do not personally know, and other prestigious organizations speak on my behalf if my preaching is really without credence.
Napaka-sensible at credible. Ganito inilarawan ng isang law professor ang paraan ng pagtuturo ni Brother Eli Soriano. Ito ang balita ni Roderick Mendoza.
Halos 2 dekada ng tagapagturo ng batas si Attorney Jose Mejia. Isa siyang law professor sa De La Salle University sa Maynila simula pa noong taong 2000. Mahigit 7 taon din siyang nagsilbi bilang miyembro ng Judicial and Bar Council o JBC. Ang JBC ang sumasala at kumikilatis sa lahat ng mga nag-a-apply sa hudikatura, magmula sa punong maestrado ng Korte Suprema hanggang sa mga huwes sa lahat ng trial courts sa bansa. Pero bagamat siya'y tagapagturo ng batas, itinuturing niya ang kanyang sarili na estudyante ng buhay at relihiyon. Sa paghahanap niya ng mga salita ng karunungan, isa si Brother Eli sa kanyang pinakikinggan.
Isa sa talagang paborito kong pinapanood ay si Ka Eli. No? Bakit? Kasi napaka-sensible ng mga sinasabi niya. Yung kanyang mga message ay very timely, universal. No? Talagang sa akin, may napupulot ako.
Sa kanyang pakikinig sa iba't ibang tagapangaral ng relihiyon, ay masasabi niyang bukod tangi ang pangangaral ni Brother Eli.
Yung estilo ng niya, very credible. Ang dating sa akin, hindi yung parang run of the mill, hindi yung some people just simply mouthing phrases from the Bible, no. Sa kanya makikita mo talagang aral, no, at may mga batayan, yung mga sinasabi niya. At sabi ko nga universal. Hindi ako kasapi ng dating DAAN, pero pinapakinggan ko siya kasi nga naiaangkop ko ito sa aking pang-araw-araw ng buhay.
Isa sa hindi niya makakalimutan ay ang sagot ni Brother Eli sa isang tanong hinggil sa kaligtasan.
Ang bigat mo nung tinanggap mo si Kristo bilang isang personal mong tagapagligtas. Ikaw ba? Tinanggap ka ba niya? Yun lang, wala siyang ibang sinabi. Ang ibig sabihin lang nun sa akin, kung tinatanggap mo si Kristo, kailangan naaangkop din yung iyong kilos, naaangkop din yung pakikitungo mo sa ibang tao, dun sa kagustuhan ni Kristo. Kung hindi mo siya isa nasa buhay, anong kwenta nung tinanggap mo siya bilang personal na tagapagligtas?
Isa rin sa hinahangaan niya kay Brother Eli ay kung paano nito nailalapat ang mga salita ng Diyos sa bawat naghahanap ng katwiran, anuman ang estado o kalagayan nito sa lipunan.
Siya kasi, lahat ng aspeto ng buhay nasa Biblia. So yun yung premise. Walang bagay, walang issue, walang nawala sa Biblia. Ang dating niya sa akin is that naiaangkop niya sa kung ano man ang discipline mo, kung ano man ang iyong karanasan, naiaangkop niya dun sa mga salita ng Diyos na pinapaliwanag niya.
Napansin din niya na hindi lamang limitado sa Biblia ang aral ni Brother Eli, kundi eksakto rin sa kasaysayan, lohika at siyensya.
Sabi ko nga, ibang klase itong taong ito, kumbaga sa talagang erudite. No? I think that's the term. Erudite, aral, hindi nagpapanggap. Sasabihin niya yung kanyang saloobin. No? Lahat ng discipline, meron siyang alam. No? Tapos, pag kumakanta pa siya ng pasyon. No? Tsaka, yun nga, he does not mince words to express yung kanyang mga saloobin. Maya payaldo, kaya kayungan, at sana parati kayong makiramdam king amano ning kaya katamo apong Ginoo na paralana kang Ka Eli Soriano. Congratulations, Ka Eli.
Roderick Mendoza, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Whenever I preach, be it on radio, television, or social media, I see to it that everything that I say is always factual, supported by pieces of evidence, and is Bible-based. I never concoct stories. I make sure that the things that I say are sensible, relevant, and enlightening. Otherwise, reputable award-giving groups would not have acknowledged and recognized my undertakings. Allow me to cite a few of these recognitions. During the 3rd Annual Open Mashable Awards in 2009, my blog site, esoriano.wordpress.com, was awarded the most educational to follow. During the 4th Annual Gawad America in 2006, our program, Ang Dating Daan, was awarded as the most informative religious program. And during the 10th Annual Gawad America in 2011, Ang Dating Daan was awarded as the best religious program. Indeed, these recognitions give us immense pride and honor. However, we know that we could not have achieved any of them if not for the help and guidance of God. So unto Him we offer all the honor and glory. As we in the Church of God International are guided by biblical truths, we are aware that until the end, there would still be people whose major preoccupations are to spread lies, deceive and mislead people, and bring them to perdition. But with God's help, we will not allow such people to hinder us in propagating the gospel and in encouraging our fellow men to walk in the old path or the good way, as commanded by God, for this is the path that will lead them to salvation. To God be the glory. Thank you for listening. Join me again next time to another debatable and intriguing article written and intelligently analyzed by Mr. Controversy X. Always keep in mind that wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. May the peace of God be upon us all.